won't be able to fix it before today. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm Marie. I'm the CEO and founder of Linklily. Basically, what is Linklily? I help entrepreneurs just like you win over top companies like Tesla, Google, help you get the funding that you need and even more clients and partners. And this particular stage that we're talking about is really important because the pitching stage kind of influences all the rest of your messaging and your communication with these people. So we use a system, and I'm going to show it to you. If you read the pitch guide, you've already seen it. But the HA4D system helps you optimize your pitching and then your presentations, also your marketing if you need that later on. The idea is to help you share your value so that other people can understand it very clearly. So, exactly what is a pitch? A pitch is just a snapshot of what you do and why you're different. Snapshot's pretty fast, very quick, and it's going to show your value to other people. So, startups are kind of like this crazy mix between, hey, I'm special and I'm different, but I can't tell you why because you might steal my idea. So, that idea, when you're developing your idea and you're putting everything together, that kind of stays with us as we get going, and we still kind of hide that really important value that we need to share with other people. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I want to help you show that urgency and that feeling of that you know and that you have, but how can you present that to others? When we're talking about mastering pitching, so why do IT entrepreneurs need a pitch? The entire idea is to connect better. And you can connect better when you can clarify this pitch. And we're going to talk more about the pitch. What is a pitch? Um, and how can you make this winning pitch is to capture the attention, right? A lot of people nowadays, we have so much going on. Everyone is busy. We have social media. We need to capture attention very quickly. And we can do this when we craft the right message for the right person. And then the last step is we're going to take all of that fun stuff and we drive results with all of the work that's been done in the beginning. So we can turn those pitches into your customers, your funding, your partners, and all of the things that you're really looking for today. So how can we connect better? We can connect. Well, we need to connect. It's like, why do we even need a pitch? We need a pitch because very often we're asked this question. What do you do? What do you do? And it seems like a very simple question, and we hear it a lot, and we just answer it pretty quickly. And then we start talking about technology, we start talking about our business, and we don't really get to the real point immediately. And then we kind of lose the other person's attention because we didn't start in the beginning with something that kind of captures the attention. Probably you're doing meet and greets. Probably you're paying for events. You have booths, you have kiosks and events. Right now you're networking, even if this is just to help you with your communication. You're networking with the other people that are here, client dinners. And if I were to turn everything off and let you guys talk, what's one of the first questions? Well, what do you do? And that's what I want to help you answer in a very strategic way. So we can turn this question into not a, oh no, I have to explain my technology, into, yes, I'm going to tell you very concisely so that you can turn it into a win. We can do this by thinking about how to tailor the pitches, okay? So if you think about this, if I asked you right now, can you go ahead and Tell me what you do. Most of IT entrepreneurs that I deal with, they need at least minimum 30 minutes to explain their product. And even after 30 minutes, it's not exactly clear what makes them different from everybody else. So if you think about it right now, we're going to do the exercise together. And those who are listening to the recording, just do this right now. If you were to write down the most important things that you want to tell me about your company and about what you do, just write something down or think about 2 or 3 things that you would write down, okay? Wait for it. Now I want you to imagine that one of your team members is going to handle this question for you. You don't get to say the answer. You have to pass this piece of paper that you just wrote 2 or 3 things down on, and then you have to pass that to the person who's your team member and hope that they say what's on that piece of paper, okay? That information or that really important thing that is the essence of your business, I want to help you be able to say it yourself and also pass that to the next person who is maybe talking at the event, or maybe they're writing your content for you. Maybe it's your web designer. They need that message, that really important, valuable thing that you have that's inside of you that you want to share with everybody else. They need that from you. And we're going to talk about how to get that out and then how to deliver that to the right person at the right time. Okay. The first way is the first little circle that you see here down on the bottom, the elevator pitch. It's the easy one. It's the short one, but it's the foundational one that we're going to look at today, because this is the one where we can get everything into a very short, very, very short presentation. What do you do? 1 to 2 minutes. This is what I do, right? This is the one that we're going to look at. If you stay till the end, I have a special bonus. I'm going to give you the elevator pitch formula. Fill in the blank with the highlights of the value so you can start pitching immediately. Of course, those will change over time. Those things change. But let's just talk about the different types of pitches now. So first, the elevator pitch. That's the fast one, right? 1 to 2 minutes, not very long. Just going to kind of introduce your idea and catch attention. This is where I see IT entrepreneurs start going deep. So it's almost like what do you do turns into, oh, I have to teach or explain my technology. And actually, you don't. For this one, you don't need to teach. You don't even need to explain your technology. You just need to capture enough attention that they come back and they're curious. It's the difference between, yes, I'm going to listen to you, or no, I'm not. Like social media. When you scroll, so I'm done, right? We get like 3 scrolls. 1, 2, oh, it's not for me. Next. The elevator pitch should capture their attention so you hold them long enough so you can go to the next kind of pitch, okay? The next kind we have here is the technical pitch. And this is the one, IT guys, they're very ready for this one. So this is your technology. This is the core stuff. If you have another tech guy and you're talking to that tech guy, they're going to get it and they're going to understand that what you have is really, really special, okay? This is the one, it'll be a little bit longer and you can turn these pitches into presentations, but this is not for everyone. This technical pitch you should save for technical people. And there will be different times that you need this particular one. It's like targeting one specific audience, right? I'm sure you've heard this before. The next one, the sales pitch. Of course, we know we need this one, right? The sales pitch can be 5 to 15 minutes. This can be for clients, or this could even be for investors, but mostly for clients. If you're looking for, I need to sell my product, it's a different kind of pitch, but you're going to have the same core things that you've developed from your elevator pitch, and then you will just expand on that one. And then the last one, there are more than these, but these are the 4 basic ones. The investor pitch. Okay. So investors are not, sometimes they're not always technical guys, right? Um, you're going to talk to them about the profitability of your entire business model. This is difficult sometimes for IT entrepreneurs because you're focused on having a good, awesome, high quality product that improves lives, right? But investor pitches, the investor wants to know, are you going to make me money? So very specific pitches for different situations, but they all start with the elevator pitch, which is what we're going to talk about today. And always be sure that the core idea is we want to connect. Okay. So clarify your message and then we can connect. I actually had a client recently and he was at an event, a tech startup event, and he was participating in the event. And afterwards, a group of them went to dinner. And while he was walking in to the dinner, a VC asked him, or an important one, what do you do? And he said, um, I have a tech platform, a BI platform. We help businesses visualize their data. And the VE said immediately, oh, everybody does that, and just kept walking. And when I heard this story, I was like, okay, the very first things that you have to get out in that elevator pitch, just that first 1 or 2 minutes, this is the really, really valuable part. He had a great opportunity, but didn't get it out fast enough. And it's not because he doesn't have a great product, just didn't have the right words at the right moment. So it is worth it to develop this particular elevator pitch. And again, I'll give you the formula at the end. The next one is there's some 3 steps on how to build these winning pitches. We talked about the different kinds of pitches that we have, but there are 3 basic steps that you can go through no matter which stage you are in your business right now. The first one is to do a high level assessment to gain insights about what's going on. How do other people see you? How do you present yourself? And we'll talk about that today. We're going to talk about it in just a minute. The second one is do some advantage mapping. So when you're doing advantage mapping, this is uncover your business value. That's the secret part that we try to hide, right? I'm great because I have this special thing, but don't copy me. So there's some ways that we can protect your value and at the same time show them that you're different and very valuable. And that's what the advantage mapping is about. The third one is your delivery, the 4D delivery, how to master the winning pitches, how to present them and be ready. Just like the entrepreneur that I was talking to you about, have that ready and you're going to use the same one many times. Each time you get that fun question, what do you do? So first step, the high level assessment that we have here. You can scratch and make notes as we go through this together. We're going to have to move pretty quickly because I'm going to give you an overview of the 3 steps today. But let's just talk about this right now. The high level assessment, what is that? I mean, you kind of have already figured out what you do, right? You know you're fixing a problem and you have a product. More than likely, you already have a product, right? The first step, just maybe if you put like a quadrant of 4, write down what is the problem. If somebody looks at your industry, what you're doing, what is the problem with it today? So you can write down the problem, and then I would ask you, beside it, why? Why is that even a problem? If you're solving a problem, why do we have this problem? And this usually I get this out of my clients, asking their problem. They know it. Why is it a problem? They say it. And then I say, can you tell me the solution? So the solution is usually somewhat clear too. Okay, this is what we do and we solved it, right? So you tell them, what did you solve? And then actually the last one is the result. Now that you've solved the problem, right? You have the problem, you know why, you solved the problem. This part right here, the result part, this is actually the part that your listener wants to hear. More than likely, they already know there's a problem. That's a general common problem. They probably already know the cause of the problem. So for the elevator pitch, I don't waste a lot of time there. You can mention it if you need to really quickly, but I usually do it after. So you have a solution and there is a result. If possible, try to put the result first. So what do you do? And then you put the result, the thing that you do actually at the front. Then you can talk about your solution. So usually people are interested in what's the end thing? What do you do? The actual thing that you do. If you tell them the result, then you give them the solution and you say, actually, we're solving this problem. They will say, oh, okay. So the logic is backwards from teaching, right? So when I teach people, I go from something that you know already, and I pull you over to something that you do not know yet. Not jumping around, but I try to talk about something that you know that's familiar and then teach you, build on your knowledge. So if you go problem, cause, solution, result, that's more in line with teaching. If you're trying to capture attention, turn it upside downwards, do it backwards. Give them the result first. Oh, saves me time, costs less money. Very interesting. Sustainable, good for the environment. Put those things first, then talk about your solution. And you'll probably have a little bit more attention because the goal, again, is not to teach about your company and get a lot of knowledge into them. The goal here is just to connect with the person that you're talking to. Try to connect very quickly. So let's talk about some of the things to avoid. I was asked this when I said, does anybody have any suggestions? What do you want to hear? This was one of them. Avoid common mistakes. First, please don't start with a long story. Well, when I was a child, I always wanted to start a business. No. Try to get to the point as quickly as possible. Also, don't assume that your listener cares. So that may seem crazy, but sometimes people, especially in English, how are you? What do you do? It's just a very casual question. So if you actively engage that person, you might also grab their attention. So try to get their attention. Even though they're asking you what you do, they might just be doing it to be polite or in passing, but it's an opportunity. Don't miss it. Try not to over-explain the technology. We already talked about that. Focus on the benefits. This is a key one here. Try not to name drop competitors. Oops, not backwards. Here, try not to name drop competitors. I hear this a lot. So in an effort to try to teach them the technology, I hear startups start talking about their competitors that are big name competitors, and you're probably going to get the same result as the entrepreneur I was telling you about. They're going to say, oh, you're doing the same thing as everybody else. You don't want to talk about your competitors. Just build your own credibility. Couple more. Try not to be just reactive when they ask you questions. So when I started today, I said, hi, everybody. Does anybody have any questions? It's very reactive, right? When you're giving your pitch, you don't want to be reactive. You want to be more active in the conversation because you have something really important to share. You have a lot of value and you want them to understand. So try to lead the conversation. When you get to the end, don't rush the call to action. You want to balance your time. So don't over explain to the point where you don't have time to connect with the person. They're running away and everything's finished. You want to balance your time. And the last one that I've written down here is just don't skip the practice. You want to prepare to win. So this pitch and pitching, it's not just something that I would say people are born with. I would say it's not a talent necessarily. There are some people who are just talented in communication, but it's a skill that you can learn. And just like all skills, you want to practice through your pitch and you want to look for opportunities to pitch. And when you're doing that, it will get better, just like coding and just like other skills that we're learning. So go ahead, don't skip the practice and prepare to win. And move quickly here. This is something I'm sure you've all seen as startups. Treasure hunt. Which stage are you in, right? Are you in the treasure hunt stage? Are you looking for the problem, the fit, the market, the scale? Are you in the scaling? What I was talking about. Do you need to send your pitch to your teammate, to your team, and hopefully they're aligned with your message? Are you in the fundraising, scaling stage? Are you building momentum? This is when your demand increases and you have more demand generation. You're looking for more clients, thinking more about your sales planning. Or the last one, expanding. This is new products, new markets. So I see clients in all four of these stages. And I would like to challenge this linear or this line. It's almost like a timeline. It exists, it's real, but I would like to say I feel it's more of a curve than a line. So as you're growing, there are times where you're going to do some of these things all at the same time, right? And then you're pitching as you go from treasure hunt to scale, your pitch will also go to the next one, but it will also cycle around. So yes, this exists, this timeline exists, but it's not so defined. And even your pitch, you will still be pitching when you get over here to the expand. When you're in new products, new markets, your sales planning, you still need pitching for all of these. Probably it's not the same pitch that you started with at the beginning. Things will change. But think of it more like a curve than more like a line. Where am I? Okay, I'm here. I'm stuck here. Not necessarily. Your pitches will grow as your business develops. Okay, so we're at step 2. This is the advantage mapping. This is the capture the attention part. The other one was the high level. What does it look like? Who am I pitching to? Where am I at? Do I understand all of these really important parts? Step 2, capture attention. So this is the part where if you get past the elevator pitch, maybe you're in the technical pitch, you need to answer these questions before someone asks them. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's one question. Why should I invest in your business? This is what they're thinking, especially if it's the investor pitch. Why? Why you? I hear pitches all day long. I see startup companies with lots of interesting things. They're all kind of cool. But why? Why should I invest in your business? And they're thinking it even if they're not going to say it to you. You need to answer that question very quickly at the beginning. Also, why are you different? You don't want to hear that question. If you hear that question, why are you different? You didn't do your job. You need to go back and reevaluate your pitch, reevaluate your presentation, because that should be so clear. It's the reason why they're there. They are almost rooting for you. They're looking for great investments, right? Take the opportunity and answer this question ahead of time. This does take a little bit of deep searching, deep diving. This is where people start hiding things. We have this technology, it's very special. Don't really want to tell everybody about it yet. And I've helped clients we do patents. Uh, if you publish, it's also proprietary information. Once you publish some information, some technology, can talk with you about that if this is the stage that you're at and you need help with this. The idea here in this mapping is uncover the key value. So specifically, what is that? Identify and highlight your unique selling points. So when you're selling to your target customer, why do people buy your product? Why are they going to pick your product over another product? You also want to explain your unfair advantage. And I like this term. Unfair advantage is the thing. It might be that you're in a particular location that no one else has. Maybe I was working with companies in the tech industry where they were in the same area as other companies doing the same exact thing. And they have this competitive advantage because they have suppliers delivering them their supplies, but they can have reduced rates on the supplies because they're in an area that everybody is buying the same thing. This is an unfair advantage because if your company's in Alaska, you're going to have a hard time getting product, right? Just one simple example of how you can figure out what is your unfair advantage. You want to detail your core technology. Make sure that you are identifying the result of your core technology. So they don't necessarily want to know all of the deep details until you get to the presentation, but you want to, what is the result? Your core technology does what for me today? This is what you want. Also, present your business model. And I see this a lot. Sometimes we're so good at creating products that the quality of the product is really amazing and the rest of the business didn't get quite worked out, right? So sometimes I will see entrepreneurs who are thinking like CTO and they didn't quite make it to CEO idea. So you have to show them, okay, we actually have not just the product, but a functioning business. We have a total addressable market, not just a go-to-market strategy. Really important. And then you want to show your go-to-market strategy if you haven't done that yet. If you're not already in the market, you want to give them a timeline of where you are, when is profitability, and what is your plan to get there. All right, and we're already at step 3. Step 3 is the HA4D delivery. So H was the high level, A is the advantage mapping. Now we're at the 4D delivery. This is step 3. This is you. This is you. You're going to give the pitch, right? I'm not going to give your pitch for you unless you can't, but I really, really prefer you give your own pitch. How this works is once you've prepared your pitch, you've identified your value, you're ready to go. You now need to practice, right? So we prepare, you practice, deliver. And this may sound like, okay, well, yeah, that's the whole point, right? Deliver. Yes, but you need to look for opportunities to deliver. Believe it or not, I've had clients fly across the globe, go to events, and then when I ask them, who did you talk to? Who did you meet? It was, I didn't really talk to a whole lot of people because I wasn't really confident and I wasn't really sure what to do. So you also need to look for places to deliver, opportunities to deliver, ways to connect with people, and then run after those. You want to find those situations because you've prepared, you've practiced, and now you're ready. And the last step here is the grow. We're going to look at this in the next slide. The grow is very important. It's the fun part. All the pitching and presentation is done. The growing part is when you scale yourself, essentially. You're going to take all of this that you've developed, and then you're going to make sure that your messaging and your content, I'll go ahead and turn the slide so you can see. The grow part here is when you start driving the results. You've tested your message. You see that you have response to your message. You're already pitching. You're already working with clients, and you're seeing that, okay, this is a good fit. You have winning pitches at this point, okay? When you have your winning pitches, your messaging is done. This is when your marketing and your networking, you're just going to turn those pitches into that material. You're going to turn those pitches into driving the results that we're looking for today. Your presentations will reflect that. It's kind of like branding. It's branding, but it's you. Team training, we will even see it inside the website content. Your content will begin to reflect, and then funding, partners, and clients. So let's talk about that funding. Let's say today I have a couple holding companies. They're looking for startups, just like your startup, just like yours. And I say, okay, let's set up a meeting. Are you ready right now? Not in 5 minutes, not in 1 hour. Are you ready right now to pitch to this investor? But you know you need funding. Everybody needs funding. You know you need funding. You know you have value. You have a great winning product. This little piece about the pitching is extremely valuable for situations like this, because they want to hear from you too. I can talk about your product all day long. Oh, I have this client and they have this product, and this product is really great. And what do they say to me? Can I talk to them? They want to talk to you. So get your pitch ready. Get your pitch ready. We talked today about master pitching to accelerate your startup growth. I really do believe it's a key part. Is it necessarily the first part? Nope, not necessarily. I have clients I'm meeting with even today. They're very advanced. They already have partners, enterprise partners. And this pitching is not down just yet. I think it's easier if you get your pitching and your message down first. But remember, I was talking about there's a growth curve. You can do this now. It will help in every stage. So why? To connect better. We're going to clarify the message, capture attention, compelling message, right? The idea is capture attention, not necessarily teach them everything that you've done. And then the last one, you don't want to arrive there with a great product, with a great pitch, and then don't talk, right? You want to drive the results. You want to turn your pitches into customers and funding. All right, just a little bit more. So that's about it for the presentation. The things that I wanted to show you today, the things that I think are really going to help you. Today, before the end of the call, if you would like a free pitch assessment. So talking about pitches. But if you would like for me to assess your pitch, okay, Marie, I'm going to talk to you. I would be more than happy to assess your pitch. For the people who showed up today, it's one of the bonuses for showing up live. I will evaluate your current pitch that you have right now. Help you optimize your message. We can talk about that. See what you have right now, and then strategize what are your next steps based on where you are. Figure out what's going to be the best way to help you to continue growing. And I'm going to put some of those links in the chat box. This one down here. And now we can do a Q&A. I know we have a few people that are here today, probably have a few questions. I hope you have some questions. So you have some options. You can type in the chat. You can raise your hand. If you don't want to talk, you can email me. You can book a session as well. Talk to me one-on-one if you would like. Some common questions I hear: what's the most important element in a pitch? How can I follow up after a pitch? That's really, really an important part. There's my email if you would like to email me instead. And I'm going to see if anybody has any questions. You can go ahead and talk. Let's see. I'm looking for a way to.
I had a question, Marie, but you already answered it, which is I was wondering if it made sense to have more than one pitches, one for customers and one for investors, but you already answered that. So you need to have
Great
like
question.
a different goal for every pitch.
It's convenient for me to think of it like that, right? Of course, there's going to be information that's overlapping. Um, that first one, yes, that first elevator pitch is so short, less than 2 minutes. And
Okay.
then the information after you develop that one, you're going to put it in your other pitches. It's going to be shared, but yes, it helps for me to think about who am I talking to? I'm talking to a techie guy. Okay, I can skip a lot. He's not really so interested in certain parts, the sales process. He doesn't care. And when you go and you pitch to Tesla, for example, I see we have to develop the first one. Your first one, just get your foot in the door. And at that point, it's pitches which turn into presentations, right? But your pitch is at the beginning of your presentation. You don't lose your pitch. And then they will say, okay, great, you're going to come back. Come back. I thought I could pitch or present to Tesla one time and it's done. It's not. You're going to come back and they'll say, okay, this time you're going to meet with the tech guys. And not the high level tech guys, right? You're going to meet with the first level of tech guys. And they're going to say, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then they'll send you back. And so they will grow and you will have a file, a beautiful file, and they will match as best as possible the people that you're talking to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then the investors, of course, when you get to the end, they have very specific questions. They see people asking them for money all the time, all the time, every day. And it's like that. Okay. And they want to know, how are you going to make them money and how are you going to get that money back to them as soon as possible, right?
Mm.
This gets a little tricky when I have helped some research and development startups, because obviously at the beginning of research and development, you're not going to have return on investment in 6 months, right? Not even 2 years. Sometimes it's a little bit longer. That cycle is longer. So you have to change those pitches. And those investors expect, they know they're in that industry and they expect, but you have to just kind of change them based on who you're talking to.
Thank you.
Happy fit. Happy IT fit. I like. Hi, Liz. When we pitch, we want to show that our product can change a life, but it is difficult to explain how to solve this problem. Okay. I'm going to maybe talk a little bit. So I don't know necessarily your product or your industry or who, but without knowing anything, I would say go back to that problem, cause, solution, result. The 4 things with the connect better in the middle, and write it out. I would say, okay, the product can change a life. Why do they need it changed? So maybe they have a problem. Why do they want to change their life? Maybe they don't want to change their life. So you say product can change your life, but in their mind, they think my life is great. I don't want to change my life. So when you write down for yourself, this is your work. Okay, I know they have a problem. They don't want to admit they have a problem, but I know they have a problem. Going to write down their problem. Don't tell them. And what's the cause of the problem? And probably if you said it to them, they would go, oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, we say too many emails. Let's use that for an example. I don't have too many emails. I have an assistant. They may say that. And you're like, no, I know you have too many emails because you have to pay your assistant. Problem, cause, maybe your product answers all the emails with generative AI with perfect answers. Just imaginary product here. If you have this product, I'm going to buy it. Okay, and you have this solution. And the result of that solution is I'm going to save you time because you don't have to answer emails. But not only am I going to save you time, I'm going to save you money because you don't have to pay anybody to look at those. You don't have to spend your valuable time that you could be doing something else. So then that thing, whatever that result is the thing you want to talk about first. So if I ask you, Liz, what do you do? It's difficult because I don't know what your product is. I just created one for you. I would say we help insurance entrepreneurs. There's a prompt, but a prompt doesn't entail transformation. A prompt, like a chat bot. Prompt. Okay. So this particular prompt does something for people, right? Does something that they want, that they will admit they want, that you know they want. It generates a picture. Okay. And then I would say that's maybe your solution. They get a picture, but why do I want a picture? I want a picture because I like pictures. Pictures are going to make my life easier. What's the result of having the picture? I can sell it. What can I do with my new picture? So probably I assume I can write things according to what I write. It will generate a picture for me. It's going to save me time, right? Okay, it's going to make me money. There we go. That's my advantage. You make your clients money and probably save them time and help them with creativity. That's what you want to say first. You want to talk about the advantages that they will receive. Then you will talk about your product. Because if you say to me, people have a hard time making pictures, people have a hard time coming up with ways to make money. And this is because it takes some time to make pictures and people aren't very creative. You see how we go from problem to cause? Nobody's listening anymore. You're probably not listening. So flip it around. We make pictures for people who don't have a lot of time. We deliver pictures, I don't know, creative pictures, fun things like that. It sounds interesting. I would like to hear more. All right. So I have here, does anybody else have questions? Save time and to make money with it. Ask everything. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That's a good start if you're talking about the elevator pitch. And here, I'll go ahead and show it to you because we have about 10 minutes or so left. The bonus show up is the elevator pitch formula. It's a PDF. it's not too difficult or complicated. It goes in this order. Basically, you just give your intro, reminder, not a story. Okay. Oh, my company is a third generation company and we're the best at this because skip it for the elevator pitch. Just skip it. It should be under 2 minutes. So you're going to give your intro, your purpose. That's the result. I wrote here purpose, but that's the result. We save time, we make you money because there is a problem, right? We created the solution to the problem. This is important for which market? So it would be your industry or your target market, your target client. If you have time, you don't always have time to give your value proposition, but you want to give your value, like what is one little special thing about your value? If you can see that you've caught their attention and they're talking to you and you can slide that in there, slide your value proposition, and then your call to action. Call to action is, let's talk later. Can I send you an email on that? Can we connect? Some way that you can continue the conversation. Don't skip that last little part. And that PDF is going to explain, it's basically fill in the blank for a good portion of it. The beginning will be just like fill in the blank not because you can't come up with your own. You can definitely come up with your own, but it's difficult to come up with your own and be very short, right? And time is of the essence. You want to get it out there very quickly and really just capture their attention. They're interested. They don't understand everything. It's impossible for them to understand everything about your technology, but you caught their attention.